Well, as many candidates spent months along the campaign trail, Governor Glenn Youngkin made many appearances in support of Republicans running across the country. One of those Republicans, Youngkin. Casey Baylor spoke with an expert on if his presence played a role at the polls.
Following election night, Governor Glenn Youngkin says it's time to look ahead.
And I think it's time for elected leaders to put the campaign behind now and go to work.
When it comes to Republican wins in Virginia, J. Miles Coleman with UVA's Sabado's Crystal Ball says the governor's presence did help in some races like Virginia's 2nd District.
You know, I think his involvement for Jen Kiggins, probably something that played well in that seat.
But it wasn't the case for other districts.
It seemed like Youngkin really wanted District 7, but that stuck with Abigail Spanberger, and it wasn't particularly close. Spanberger won by, 4 points.
With his involvement on a national scale,
I think it was somewhat of basically a mixed bag.
Coleman says governor races in Florida and Georgia were already ahead, but he says he's still watching the Arizona governor's tight race where Youngkin spent time campaigning for Kari Lake.
She may end up pulling it out, and if it's a close enough race, he may be taking some credit.
Ultimately, Coleman says this granted Youngkin national exposure.
So, if he wants to, maybe make some moves towards 2020, 24, he just has more name recognition across the country now.
I'm Casey Baylor for 13 News Now.
Now, Coleman also says that he looks forward to next year. That's when both chambers of the legislature are up for election, and he questions if voters will vote Democrat, punishing him for being out of state so often.